I would like to begin my brief talk with one question. While you perform aquatic exercise, let's take two examples, swimming laps in a pool and doing a deep water running example of exercise in an aquatic environment. Comparing swimming laps in a pool versus deep water running, which activity, if you were to perform those individually, would you believe you would expend more energy in? Okay, so the majority of the group said deep water running. What led you to make that decision?
Seems like there's more resistance.
Okay, so the question about deep water running creating a greater rate of energy expenditure is based on the fact that there's more resistance as you do deep water running. And that ties in with other factors that will account for the energy expended during any type of aquatic exercise. I was almost hoping somebody would have yelled out in the audience, the one that I enjoy doing more, I'll expend more energy in. Because again, it's the cumulative effect of energy expenditure, regardless of what activity we do in an aquatic environment, is what dictates the health benefits for us, regardless of the activity. Okay, so deep water running has more resistance. The resistance that we experience in a water environment is due to the presence of drag forces. And as you heard from an earlier presentation, the speed at which you move, or the rate at which your limbs move through the water, or your body in general moves through a body of water, dictates the magnitude of the drag forces that you have to overcome in that movement through the water. Almost counteracting that relationship, though, is the presence of buoyancy. So, for example, if you could imagine yourself lying prone or supine in water, you have probably the greatest presence of buoyancy. And if you're not moving, the least relative drag placed on your body. So somebody swimming laps, buoyancy is a significant negative effect of energy expenditure, but the movement of your limbs creating drag forces requiring significant muscle activation is what's going to lead to energy expenditure. Where deep water running, you're combining a reasonable drag force by the human body's position in more of an upright position with the movement of your legs and or arms, creating additional drag forces. But once again, you have the presence of buoyancy, again, tending to counteract. So in many ways, the greatest energy that humans and you all can expend in water usually is some magnitude of drag forces that you're creating swimming or moving through water, counterbalanced by the magnitude of buoyancy. And once again, the one that you prefer and the one that you feel most comfortable doing in a regular manner is what will become the most successful for you. One other point that comes up with aquatic exercise, we think we're in the water, we're lounging, we're relaxing. Many people go on vacation to water, to relax, maybe not so much to work out. So the question remains, how can such a nice, relaxed environment create an environment to really promote energy expenditure, health, and well-being? It's a very simple relationship. The energy you expend on land can literally be matched in water, meaning that people who do shallow water walking can expend as much energy as the energy they expend on land. Deep water running, for people who have become very proficient in it, can start to move towards the energy expended while people run on land. Shallow water walking is difficult for people because they're not experienced at moving rapidly in shallow water because it takes a lot of effort. And all these factors that I've brought up make it difficult to compare exercise training in terms of the cumulative energy expended when you do shallow water walking compared to shallow water calisthenics, compared to deep water running. And many researchers over the years have really tried to pinpoint exact variables that can dictate the magnitude of energy expenditure with shallow water, deep water, and all exercises in between. So regardless of the exercise that you all promote among your clients and your patrons, you should never feel like because we're in a water environment, we have a very low energy expended. As you know, well-trained endurance swimmers can create an energy expenditure equivalent to individuals running a 5-minute mile on land. And again, think in the audience, how many people can run a 5-minute mile? But there's probably some folks in here who are proficient enough in swimming where creating that amount of energy expenditure is quite doable. So never think because you're in a wonderful environment that takes less or creates less pain and discomfort that you are compromising the amount of energy that you're expending. And the research presents various examples where swimming laps for 3 to 6 months versus walking on land versus doing deep water exercise creates very comparable changes in body composition, body fat percentage, gain in lean body mass. Some exercise in water is difficult to match land because you are self-driven. You have to dictate the effort you put forth with every movement you make in water. And if you think of a class of shallow water aerobics, 30 people spread throughout a pool, you can pretty much assume there's 30 different levels of effort that people are taking place. So pay particular attention to the intensity of the exercise, keeping your clients focused in terms of the activity they should do, and you will create a wonderful environment for not only improving health and well-being, but especially expending a reasonable amount of energy with each workout. Thank you.